America fact, faith, power, and belief president. Donald J. Trump is a god or sent by God to save the United States of America is one of the most striking and controversial expressions of the belief in recent history. To some, it is unbelievable, but is true. Oh, yes, that's truly. To others, it reflects a deep thought that Trump is part of a divine plan to help the United States of America become great again, and fix values and challenge corruption in government. From 2016 to 2025, Trump's political journey has been defined not only by policy but by mythology, a sense among his base that he is uniquely chosen, guided, or protected by a higher power. This video examines that belief from different angles: the historical context, Christian support, Trump's near-death experiences and security threats, the language of prophecy and symbolism, and how all of these threads justifies that Trump is divinely sent, or at least supernaturally protected. While we will not compare Trump with a deity or a god, we will explore why many people believe such things, and how these beliefs have shaped American politics between 2016 and 2025. When Donald Trump announced his candidacy in 2015, he was not the typical Christian. He had a history of multiple marriages, controversial statements, and a lifestyle many religious voters once found unjust. Yet, by the time he was elected in November 2016, 81% of white Christians had voted for him, a higher percentage than for George W. Bush, a self-declared born-again Christian. Many leaders said they didn't vote for a pastor, but for a fighter. They believed Trump was a fighter figure, reference to arguing that Trump was chosen to disrupt the corrupt systems threatening Judeo-Christian values in America. This was the beginning of a religious political mythology, that Trump was imperfect, but divinely used. From 2016 to 2025, there have been numerous threats and incidents targeting Trump. While not all are publicly detailed by the Secret Service, multiple reports confirm that Trump has faced credible dangers, both physical and political, that have only strengthened the belief among supporters that he is divinely protected or uniquely picky. In 2020, reports surfaced of an individual arrested near Trump Tower with weapons, allegedly making threats toward Trump. No harm occurred. Another time in 2023, a drone was intercepted near a Trump rally location, leading to online speculation about an assassination attempt. No conclusive evidence was released, but right-wing media suggested it was an act of war. A third time in 2024, during Trump's campaign events for his re-election bid, security was heightened due to online chatter and threats. Several individuals were arrested for threatening his life. The most recent time was 2025. Most notably, on July 13, 2025, during a campaign event in Pennsylvania, Trump was shot in the ear by a would-be assassin. The bullet grazed his head, but he survived. He stood up, pumped his fist in the air, and said, "God is great," reinforcing the image that divine protection was at work. This final event sealed the myth for many followers. In their eyes, Trump's survival was no coincidence. It was destiny. Several religious figures have gone beyond metaphor, directly calling Trump appointed by God or even God's chosen vessel. Pastors such as Paula White, Robert Jeffress, and Mark Burns have publicly defended the idea that God is using Trump to carry out his will. They point to his stance against abortion, his support of Israel, including moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, his opposition to globalism, and open borders, his crackdown on secularism in public institutions. Many Christian nationalist voices have declared that Trump's presidency fulfilled prophecy, or at least represented a restoration of divine favor for the United States. Books like The Trump Prophecy, 2017, and documentaries of the same name have furthered this narrative. In this religious ecosystem, Trump is seen not only as a man, but as God's vessel, protected, preserved, and propelled by divine will. Trump's appeal isn't just religious, it's also deeply anti-establishment. He's seen as the enemy of The deep state, corporate media globalist elites career politician spalik correctness because he often appears isolated in his battles against impeachment, indictment, media criticism, and even violence. His supporters view him as a Christ-like figure, metaphorically speaking, someone persecuted for telling the truth. This perception is enhanced by Trump's own rhetoric. I am your voice. 2016. They're not after me, they're after you. I'm just in the way. 2020, am the chosen one. 2019, referring to trade war with China. Such statements may be dismissed by critics as egotistical, but to followers, they further the idea that Trump's leadership is part of a cosmic struggle between good and evil. From a theological standpoint, many Christians strongly oppose the idea of Trump being a god or sent by God. Mainstream Christian leaders, including those from Catholic and mainline Protestant denominations, have expressed concern about politicizing faith and using God as a campaign tool. They argue that confusing patriotism with religion risks turning politics into a form of idolatry. Even some evangelicals warn against the over-glorification of Trump, saying it blurs the line between faith in God and loyalty to a man. Trump's survival through political attacks, lawsuits, 2 impeachments, and an assassination attempt has been described by many as miraculous. To others, it's just luck, good security, or sheer willpower. But history shows that when leaders endure multiple crises and remain standing, people often see more than coincidence. Consider Abraham Lincoln, whose early failures turned into a legendary president, Sir Ronald Reagan, who survived an assassination attempt in 1981 and gained mythic stature afterward, of JFK, whose death elevated his legacy into near sainthood in public memory. In Trump's case, the fact that he continues to rebound politically, gaining millions of supporters even after scandals and indictments, is seen by his base as divine favor. The July 2025 shooting marked a new phase in Trump's mythos. After being wounded during a campaign speech, Trump rose to his feet, bleeding, and raised his fist. This image went viral. Supporters online began comparing the moment to, within hours, the phrase, "God protected him again," was trending on right-wing social media. Churches held prayer vigils of thanksgiving, and some ministers declared this a sign from heaven. Trump himself leaned into the moment, giving interviews from his hospital bed, in which he quoted scripture and said, "God was with me that day." His approval ratings soared. His campaign donations skyrocketed, and the myth grew even larger. Americans are deeply divided, and in times of division, people aren't sure, and they want certainty, and want to understand the meaning. Trump offers all the answers, especially to those who feel controlled by the government, fearful of cultural change, or economically left behind. This emotion needs to give rise to hero worship, something seen historically across many nations and leaders. It's not unique to Trump, but the US, with its tradition of civil religion blending patriotism and faith, is especially ground for religious political beliefs. Is Donald Trump a god? No. There is no theological or factual basis for that claim. Is it true that many people believe he was sent by God to save America? Yes, that is an established socio-political fact, backed by polling, media analysis, and public statements. From 2016 to 2025, Donald Trump has survived physical threats, political impeachment, legal battles, and public criticism at a scale unmatched in modern American politics. Whether one views this as luck, destiny, or divine protection depends on worldview. But it's undeniable that Trump's image has transcended that of a typical politician. He has become, for millions, a symbol of resistance, faith, and strength, a political figure cloaked in spiritual significance. Whether that narrative leads to national unity or deeper division remains one of the defining questions of 21st century American history. And that is the end of the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure to stick around for more.